Automotive Cybersecurity Awareness Improvement Education. Frequently asked questions. So far, we have learned about automotive cybersecurity. What questions are frequently asked about automotive cybersecurity? Let's look together. Frequently asked question number 1. How should we prepare in order to satisfy UNECE R155, the UNECE International Regulation on Automotive Cybersecurity? UNECE R155 is a regulation that defines categories of vehicle to apply cybersecurity to and the requirements for a cybersecurity management system, CSMS, as well as the requirements for vehicle type approval, VTA, for a vehicle in compliance with them. In order to do so, it covers policies, processes, work products to verify the application of cybersecurity measures as required for cybersecurity over the entire life cycle of the vehicle, from design, development, and operation through disposal. The OEM, in order to satisfy international regulation UNECE R155, must comply with international standard ISO SAE 21434 and establish governance and processes throughout the entire company. These must be used to carry out cybersecurity activities in order to manage the work products and evidence of execution required for each project by ISO SAE 21434. Frequently asked question number 2. How should we prepare in order to satisfy UNECE R156, the UNECE International Regulation on Automotive Cybersecurity? UNECE R156 is a regulation that defines the requirements for a Software Update Management System, SUMS, in order to guarantee safe software updates for automobiles. For this purpose, it covers policies, processes, work products related to software update campaigns, and more. OEMs comply with ISO 24089 in order to satisfy regulation UNECE R156 and must establish company-wide governance and processes. These are used to carry out software update activities to manage the work products and evidence of execution required for each project by ISO 24089. Frequently asked question number 3. Are tier companies also required to acquire CSMS certification? Tier companies are not required to acquire CSMS certification. Under UNECE R155, it is stipulated that OEMs are required to acquire CSMS certification, and to do so, the OEM must be able to prove that the tier companies can identify and manage risks. To do so, as explained in ISO SAE 21434, Clause 7, Distributed Cybersecurity Activities, the OEM uses a Cybersecurity Interface Agreement, CIA, to define the supplier's role and request execution of cybersecurity activities. Tier companies are not required to get CSMS approval, but if they are unable to respond properly to UNECE R155, then the OEM will be unable to release vehicles. So on the ground, many OEMs request that tier companies create a CSMS and carry out development according to the CSMS and may check whether the tier company's CSMS has been approved. Frequently asked question number 4. What are the roles and responsibilities of OEMs and tier companies in cooperating on cybersecurity? The roles and responsibilities of the OEM for automotive cybersecurity, including establishing cybersecurity strategies for the entire life cycle of a vehicle, executing them, performing testing, and vehicle type approval activities in order to carry out sales. In addition, it cooperates with tier companies to take measures that strengthen automotive cybersecurity. The roles and responsibilities of tier companies for automotive cybersecurity include taking responsibility for the cybersecurity of relevant systems and components installed in vehicles, and cooperating with the OEM to take measures to strengthen automotive cybersecurity. With the increasing importance of automotive cybersecurity, cooperation between OEMs and tier companies is becoming stronger. OEMs and tier companies have to cooperate mutually to develop cybersecurity requirements, apply cybersecurity solutions, and carry out cybersecurity testing and approval acquisition activities, working together in a variety of ways. Frequently asked question number 5. What work do we need to do to manage automotive cybersecurity vulnerabilities? Automotive cybersecurity vulnerabilities are weaknesses existing within vehicle or controllers that could be used for a malicious attack. So on a day-to-day basis, events or weaknesses that might turn into vulnerabilities need to be monitored. To achieve this, and as defined by ISO SAE 21434, continual cybersecurity activities need to be carried out. Relevant activities are defined as including 1. Information gathering by cybersecurity. 2. Analysis of events related to items. 3. Management of weaknesses related to items. And 4. Cybersecurity activities for vulnerability management. Frequently asked question number 6. If an automotive cybersecurity incident occurs, how should we respond? Cybersecurity incident response is one important part of the ISO SAE 21434 standard. If a cybersecurity incident occurs, an incident response system must be established to minimize its impact and prevent a reoccurrence. The organization uses continual cybersecurity monitoring of items to identify cybersecurity events, based on which it must analyze and manage vulnerabilities. Based on the results of a vulnerability analysis, if the identified vulnerabilities require an organizational response, the incident is handled according to a cybersecurity incident response plan. Cybersecurity incident response include items such as basic information on the cybersecurity incident, new cybersecurity information related to the cybersecurity incident, improvement measures to remove the cause of the cybersecurity incident, assignment of responsibility for the improvement measures, a communication plan, management of the rate of progress for improvement measures, and standards for ending cybersecurity incident response and final measures. A cybersecurity incident response plan must be established, and incident response must be carried out in accordance with this plan. Frequently asked question number 7. What security functions do OEMs require from a tier company's major controllers? One condition for an OEM to receive vehicle type approval is being able to prove that a risk assessment has been carried out to identify priorities and apply mitigation procedures for cybersecurity risks. The OEM carries out cybersecurity concept development activities for a development project to deduce cybersecurity goals and requirements, and once the cybersecurity requirements have been established, roles and responsibilities are required from a tier company through a CIA. For concept development, threat analysis and risk assessment, or TERA, is carried out by the OEM and tier company. Through this process, tier companies must apply security solutions to satisfy the requirements of OEMs. The security level and requirements demanded by OEMs for controllers differ according to grade, but in general, the security solutions demanded of controllers are as follows. First, there are security solutions that provide a safe operation environment, such as a trusted anchor. Second, there are security solutions that guarantee safe software updates, like secure flashing and over-the-air OTA. Third, there are security solutions related to systems and data protection, and these include secure booting, secure storage, and more. Fourth, there are security solutions for safe communications and access control, including secure access and secure debug. Frequently asked question number 8. If we apply the latest automotive cybersecurity solutions, do we no longer need to worry about cybersecurity threats? The latest cybersecurity solutions may be developed and applied, but because cybersecurity threats and hacking techniques continuously evolve, even cybersecurity solutions that are up to date when they are applied are not perfectly safe. Because of this, even UNECE R155 asks for the creation of a cybersecurity management system to respond to cybersecurity incidents that occur after the production of a vehicle and explains requirements for it to be approved. Even if the latest security solutions are applied to a controller, there needs to be a plan for responding to continuous new threats and potential attacks. Frequently asked question number 9. In a new project, can the work products and results of an existing project be reused? In the planning stage of a new development project, in order to make a decision on reuse, an analysis of reuse with regard to cybersecurity needs to be carried out. The work products of the existing project must be considered to decide whether reuse is possible, and the factors that need to be considered in the reuse analysis are as shown. Depending on the results of the reuse analysis, full reuse or partial reuse in consideration of modifications may be possible. Frequently asked question number 10. Why is automotive cybersecurity testing necessary, and what kinds of tests are there? Under the regulation UNECE R155 for the OEM to receive Vehicle Type Approval VTA, it must be proved that cybersecurity response technology is appropriately and effectively applied. To prove this, according to the ISO SAE 21434 standard, verification and validation occur at the development stage, which is to say that security testing is required for verification and validation. First is functional testing. This is a test to check the cybersecurity requirements and confirm that the design has been appropriately reflected. Vulnerability scanning is a test to check whether known vulnerabilities remain in the software or hardware. Fuzz testing is a test that looks for unknown errors or vulnerabilities by inputting random data. Finally, penetration testing is a test that checks whether security measures are sufficient using mock hacking. For these tests, the scope and level of testing activities may vary depending on the requirements of the OEM's controller rating or the CAL, Cybersecurity Assurance Level. The higher the CAL, the more varied and intensive the cybersecurity testing and cybersecurity activities required, and the cybersecurity activities and the scope and type of cybersecurity tests that are necessary during the project must be decided through agreement between the tier company and the OEM. Now, you have studied the entire Automotive Cybersecurity Awareness Improvement Education course. Thank you for your time.